Welcome back to Crown Chats. I'm so excited to welcome today's guest, a true Renaissance man. He is an accomplished actor, model, musician, writer, podcaster, health coach, and so much more. He's also starred in fan favorite films and TV shows, including When Calls the Heart, A Christmas Detour, My Favorite Wedding, and Christmas CEO. His new movie, Love in the Clouds, premieres May 10th on Hallmark Channel. Please join me in welcoming the remarkable Paul Greene.
There we go. Hey, everybody. All right.
So before we dive into your film and television career, I want to talk a little health and fitness because that's one of the main reasons I was first drawn to you. You are a champion for spiritual, physical, and mental well-being, and you are all about getting moving and proper nutrition and self-care, supplements, the works. And I guess I'm just curious, what has been your health and fitness journey, and therefore what inspired you to become a coach for others?
Sure. Health and wellness. I guess so my journey starts when I was young and just playing every sport. And I was really into, for some reason, working out and I played every single sport I could. And I watched a movie called Bloodsport, which is a martial arts movie, which is the movie that got me into acting and fitness in a sense. I got so inspired and I kept waking up on the farm on set with Jean-Claude Van Damme. It was ridiculous. So I started martial arts, started acting school. And then I just always was kind of into the working out and fitness as a really young person. But then when I started modeling, I realized it became my job really quick to know how to stay in the best shape. So I got into everything that there was, like every type of trend. And I found this book called Fit for Life, which is like a really old book that talks about higher fats and higher protein and lower carbs. It's something Tony Robbins was connected to like 35 years ago. And just sort of became and I started doing men's health fitness covers as a model in the 90s. And then I had to really get in good shape for those, where I had to had to be really lean, but also big. It was that was fun. That was crazy. And then for all these movies, it just in case my shirt comes off, or, you have a tight fitting shirt, or you always just want to be in the best shape possible. But then when my dad got sick 12 years ago with ALS, and then the health and wellness became real, and for an internal reason, not an external reason, which is to keep him alive, and then to understand why he got ALS, which is what he died from, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. And then I got really interested in functional medicine and holistic medicine and understanding more how the body works in terms of an integrated system, and looking for root cause rather than sort of how the Western medicine looks at the symptom and then gives you a drug to try to help that symptom. But it never really addresses the root cause. And so root cause functional medicine became kind of an obsession of mine many, many years ago. And then during the pandemic, my wife started a company called Freedom Alchemist, and I got my functional nutrition degree, and she has her master's in NLP. And so we started this little thing online in 2019 that was little challenges and teaching people about some of the basics, like eating real food and getting good sleep and moving their body every day, and completely eliminating packaged and processed food and thinking about root cause, getting to first principles. And so she started Freedom Alchemist, and now we've been coaching people for 6 years, probably had 1,000+ people, mostly women, come through, and a lot of things come up for during that journey of understanding hormones and how that affects women and also men, but how having a muscle-centric focus can help people stay fit by building muscle. So that's the long answer. But I like feeling good. And a way for me to do that is to move my body every day and lift heavy things so I feel strong. And it's just always been like I always want to be able to move freely and experience freedom in my body. So that actually now as I'm 50, actually takes maintenance and daily routines and things that move my body so that I'm always fit in a certain way. And then it helps that I have a job where I have to stay fit.
And let's talk music. You've had at least 2 albums and have a new single on the way. You always are doing live streams and shows for your fans and are just constantly spreading joy and inspiration through your music. I'm just curious, what does music bring to you, and how has it allowed you to better connect with your fans?
Wow, music. I pick up my guitar. I fall asleep with my guitar when I'm traveling, not so much in at home. I grew up with it in the house with my dad playing his guitar a bit, my mom the organ. At church, I was a drummer. It was always around, and I didn't really until when I started modeling at 19. I met a girl who played guitar, Jenny, and she taught me how to play, and I took my guitar everywhere, and I wrote songs, 100 songs probably in my 20s, and would play my guitar on subways and in subway stations and in corridors where there was, where you could hear it echo in old churches, and it became my companion and my way of connecting to God and to others, really, for more than a decade. And then I recorded an album in the 90s, and I can't find it anymore because it was recorded on tape, but I have the cassette tape. I just haven't found a good way to transfer it. And then I sung in a choir in New York, and I sung in a band in New York. But during the pandemic again, which, like I said, is such a mixed, it gave so many gifts. And I understand it was very hard on a lot of people, and a lot of people lost a lot. And it also forced people to kind of create things. And one of them was those live stream concerts. I've done 1,000 or so, probably closer to 1,100 since COVID started. Some weeks I was doing 3 at a time, 3 shows a week. But yeah, connecting, it was a place for fans to go because they couldn't go to church for a while there. And so on Sundays I do a gospel show. And then Fridays was just a fun is a fun thing and it streams everywhere, like on all the different platforms, and it's evolved. And I have people from all over the world that jump on, and it's allowed me to keep writing songs to play there, but also I take requests, and I have a Patreon community where people come in and they can make requests. And but your initial question was, how does music do what for me?
Just what does music bring to your life?
Connection to God probably is the short answer. And then obviously connection to other people. But when I listen to a good album or good music, it connects me, I think, to my heart, which is connected to others and to God as well.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, because we've seen like Jessica Lowndes and the Penna Vegas, or even Jesse Schramm, Wes Brown kind of start getting their music more into their movies. I didn't know if we'd start seeing more Paul Greene music in Paul Greene movies at some point here soon. So
yeah, I did a movie that Hallmark purchased years ago, and I'm playing guitar, one of my songs in it. And then Bringing Christmas Home was one I did last year for Great American Family, and my song is the main song in that. And then the movie comes out on Hallmark May 10th, that my song, Love in the Clouds, Love in the Air, is the song at the end of the movie. So yeah, I'm always trying to find a way to, if it makes sense to, if while we're making the movie, or I'm producing a lot more of these movies too. So in the process, I'm like, if we need a big banger song at the end that ties it all together, I'd be happy to. I'm funny you said Jessica Lowndes, because her producing team is 2 guys that I work with, Aaron and Corey. They did the Bring Christmas Home. They did Love in the Clouds with me as well. So they do a lot of Jessica's music. She introduced me to them. But yeah, ideally that's my dream, is to have like a half-hour comedy here in LA where my character is a musician, and somehow I get to be home every day to have dinner with my family, but I get to make people laugh and also have my characters in music somehow. So that's my clear vision of the acting future that I want.
Well, we'll be praying for it, manifesting
Thanks.
for it, anything, because that would be incredible.
Yeah.
And you also have a new merch line with Dressing Festive, the Paul Greene collection. Tell us all about it.
Yes. Well, one of my amazing teammates, Bettina, that helps us do a lot of the graphic design, helped me. They've been trying to get me to do a shirt for like a year. And then we have this event coming up for Love in the Clouds, which is a watch party, which I've never done one before, but I had this idea where I would play an hour concert on Zoom to a group of people from all over the world, and then everyone would watch the movie, because I think everyone can either get Friendly TV, which is a way for them to stream it in live, I think, or a lot of people have Hallmark, they can watch it if they have cable. But I think streaming wise, I'm not going to be streaming it for the watch party. I'm going to go watch in the living room with my family, and then during the commercials come back and kind of share behind the scenes with the Zoom. And then Mackenzie Westmore, my co-star, is going to come on, and we're going to do a live Q&A there on Zoom, sort of like a podcast style thing with them. And then everyone gets a T-shirt, and the T-shirt will have the album cover from Love in the Air, which is the song that's in the movie, and then my PG Music logo, and then everyone else is getting a signed poster for Mackenzie and myself, and some other things we're putting together. But so that's the reason we kind of did the shirt, was for this, and I've never really had. I know a lot of people have a lot of merch around the way, but this is kind of my first dip into it, and meeting Jennifer over there, right? Jenny,
yep.
Yeah, and her husband was just a real treat. They seem awesome, and their quality is really high. And I didn't want to just put out anything. I wanted to make sure that we had something that felt good and looked good and people would want to wear and want to give us a gift. So that's sort of how that came together.
Yeah. And your new movie, Love in the Clouds, premieres May 10th on Hallmark Channel. Tell us a little bit about making this project and what we can expect.
Yeah, well, it's my first time being an air balloon pilot. Unfortunately, didn't get to fly in them for insurance purposes and weather. And we did a lot of movie making, which is like we're flying, and it's amazing what they can do with technology now. The script was really beautiful, and a real treat to follow this journey of these two characters, Jared and Brooklyn. It was in New Mexico, which is a character unto itself and is such a beautiful environment to make a movie. And the DP had worked on Breaking Bad, Jurgen, and also on Better Call Saul. So like the talent of the crew was just incredible. And Galen Walker's a really awesome producer who pulled it together. I just felt privileged to make a movie in America, because we always get sent to Canada, which I am Canadian, but it's nice to shoot them here once in a while. I live here, for crying out loud. And like, I've spent most of my acting life in Vancouver, either for When Calls a Heart or for the half or the dozen, I guess, of these Hallmark movies I made. Most of them have been shot in Canada in some way. So my family came to visit there. Met Mackenzie Westmore, who's super interesting. If you come to our Instagram live today at 4:45, you'll see I have these 10 true or false questions for her that are so insane. Like what the internet pulls up on her, you're not even going to believe some of these questions. Like she's maybe the most interesting person in the room. Her family is the Westmore family, who was like huge with makeups and special effects in the beginning of filmmaking in the 40s, 50s. So yeah, just, as an actor, when you're on set, and just grateful to be there, and when the story's great and the crew is great and your co-star is incredible, and you just have to pinch yourself, and it goes fast. It's 14 days usually of filming, so it moves fast. And this one is exceptionally special. Like, just the director, Larry, that I worked with, I collaborated every scene with him and just really worked hard to make every scene special and unique. And I think we got a killer score. And our colorist was next level. It was going to look like a theatrical cinema movie more so than a TV film. This one should be in theaters. So um, I think everyone's going to really love it. And our other co-stars were really special, and working with everybody was just killer. It's like sometimes it comes together like and you have to pinch yourself and go, this is we knew it was very special while we were making it too. Yeah. So, and I think a big part of that is New Mexico.
And that brings us to our final segment, which I call a little crown to crown, which is simply a rapid fire response. I'm going to give you a topic, and you're going to give me the first answer that comes to mind.
Okay. Off the top.
Favorite?
No thinking.
Okay. Yep. Clear your mind. Favorite fitness activity or workout?
I'd say Pilates, beach volleyball are kind of tied for the two. We have Pilates machines, but I walk every day on the beach. And I do sprints. So kind of, I don't know. It's so hard. I love my kettlebell. I have a kettlebell right there too. So I hate to have to choose one, but Pilates probably, you can do it all on the Pilates reformer. You can do just about everything. Cardio, weights, everything.
Dream duet or music collaboration?
Oh, Leonard Cohen, but he's not alive. Just because I like him so much. Yeah, I've thought of this before. A dream duet. I mean, that there's, when I see The Star Is Born, so I see Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper sing together. There's something about that type of collaboration that I dream of, doing a film where my character is and I actually have a treatment for a film that's very not similar to Star Is Born, but my character is a musician and he's kind of down and out, and somebody discovers that he's in this small town, and it's a really cool. It'll be in my opportunity to do something like that. But there's not as much singing in it as there is in Star Is Born. So Lady Gaga is up there though, because I hear she's just an extraordinary human being, which is really important to me. But I don't listen to Lady Gaga's music other than a few of the end of the days, the one she just did with Bruno Mars, or Dying Day, On My Dying Day, which I think is one of the coolest songs ever.
You've probably had your share of picture perfect on-screen moments, but what is something that is either hilarious or unglamorous that has happened to you behind the scenes or on camera?
That's funny. I mean, it's all unglamorous. Everyone thinks, I mean, especially the kissing scenes, or it's so technical. On this movie though, it's pretty unglamorous. I had food poisoning on the big day of our big kissing scene with Mackenzie, and the morning of, I called the producer and I'm like, I don't know, man. I know we have a lot of stuff to do today, but I am rocked. And then we got to set, and I told Mackenzie, I'm like, I really feel awful, and I don't want to, just in case it's not food poisoning, I don't know how we're going to do this. We have this, and there was only one day we had the airport. We had rented the airport, so it's not like we could go back there and reshoot the big kissing scene. So I sucked it up, and she sucked it up, literally, and then we just that was pretty unglamorous and pretty very, very uncomfortable to be I feel really sick. Let's make out. On our second day of filming, we had barely known each other. And I knew it was food poisoning, but I did just on that off chance that it wasn't. And then you take out your co-star and you're both down, and then we lose 3-4 days of filming because we're both buckled over and whatever. But we're fortunately, and now that scene just turned out so great. But when you look at it, it looks glamorous, but underneath it, I was twisting in my stomach and kind of walking funny.
And lastly, a favorite charity or organization to give a shout out to that holds a place in your heart.
Yeah. Well, ALS.net is a company that I helped raise money for. And they're out of Boston, and they were doing at the time precision medicine, and raising funds for ALS. But then there's one I'm a little more connected to, which is PR Ministries in Nashville. My friend Michael Guido, he's like a road pastor, so he travels with musicians all the way from Daughtry to Bon Jovi, like a bunch of people over the years, just to keep them sort of connected to their bigger picture of their family and God while they're out there touring. And I've been connected to them for almost 30 years as a ministry, or as a charity, I guess not charity, but like something I really believe that someone's doing in the world, and have supported them in some manner for, I guess, 27 years or something. Yeah.
And that wraps this up. Thank you so much for being here and chatting music, movies, fitness, and just all the many hats you wear. Before we go, please let everybody know where they can find and follow you to keep up with all of the new and exciting projects of Paul Greene.
Well, fortunately, my main hub is paulgreene.com, and Bettina's done such a cool job on there of having all of the tabs, and I guess I would just encourage people to go there, because it's sort of a feast. There's, whether it's under the music stuff or under the acting stuff, there's most of the things that I've ever done or I'm thinking about doing are there. So upcoming, and it's very current, and we get a lot of visitors there a day. And there is how you can connect to my socials, to my email list, to my Patreon community, which is, they come on Zoom while I do my concerts. There you can find out the schedule of my concerts, and then there's all the list of the projects that I have coming up, because I'm just finished a short that I wrote and directed and produced, and then there's a new movie that I'm shooting in Texas in July, and all that kind of information is on there, at least a teaser of it. And then in the Patreon community, it's a much more of I pop in there almost daily and share stuff, and it's a neat kind of way to stay more connected and make sure the people that want to see what I'm posting actually see it, because algorithms in the world, it's not always easy for the people that follow you to see what you're doing, especially if you're sharing about a project or something. It's like it can get squished pretty small, but yeah.
And that wraps up another episode of Crown Chats. Thank you so much for joining me and all of the incredible guests we've had so far. We have some really exciting people booked over the next few weeks, and you don't want to miss out. So be sure you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And of course, follow me, Haley, at Crown the Halls on Instagram. And don't forget, we have some sweet merch with Dressing Festive. You can find that linked here in the episode, or of course in my Instagram bio. So until next time, wear your crown. Your crown may tilt, may it never fall, but you are beautiful and you are strong.